It was exactly 1 week after the Trump Dad Blue Hair showdown when Dixie finally snapped. Ed had been extra squirrely all week, taking boat welding breaks that suspiciously involved him standing shirtless in the yard, pretending to hammer rust spots while Tawny from Lot 12 just happened to be out sunbathing in her tiny hot pink bikini top and cut-off shorts that looked painted on. Dixie pretended not to notice. At first. She just sat inside, nursing her wine spritzer and chain-smoking those minty off-brand cigarettes she swore were for her nerves. But the cats knew. Kevin Costner knew. Every time Tawny strutted by, Kevin Costner would hop on the windowsill and hiss like a tiny furry henchman. One afternoon, Dixie peered through the dusty blinds and saw Ed standing a little too close to Tawny's teal Kia Soul. Tawny was giggling, flipping her hair, and Ed was scratching the back of his neck like a teenage farm boy at a county fair. Dixie narrowed her eyes, grabbed her flip-flops, and muttered, "Not today, Satan." 10 minutes later, Tawny was sprawled out on her tiny lawn chair, headphones in, sipping Diet Coke like she didn't have a care in the world. The last thing she saw before all hell broke loose was Dixie's electric blue hair bouncing toward her like a Smurf tornado. "Hey, Miss Hot Girl Summer!" Dixie screeched. Before Tawny could yank out an earbud, Dixie launched, cheap flip-flop flying off her foot mid-air, and tackled Tawny right off the lawn chair. Inside Lot 12 single wide, Tawny's chihuahua started howling like a siren. Ed, who was across the yard pretending to bang a wrench on the boat, looked up just in time to see Dixie straddling Tawny, screaming, "Roll Tide, bitch!" while trying to stuff a half-empty wine spritzer can into Tawny's sports bra. Tawny shrieked and tried to claw Dixie's hair, but the dollar store dye was basically industrial glue at this point. No pulling it out. Dixie grabbed a fistful of Tawny's fake eyelashes instead and flung them into the wind like confetti at a redneck wedding. Ed jogged over, flailing uselessly. "Dixie? Dixie Lynn, get off her! You can't just shut up, Ed Earl!" Dixie shrieked, slapping Tawny's sun hat off her head for good measure. "This hussy been winking at my husband for the last time!" By now, half the trailer park was outside, recording the spectacle on their flip phones and yelling helpful advice like, "Rip her extensions, Dixie," and "Bite her, Tawny." Kevin Costner strolled over, sat next to the brawl like a tiny kingpin, and began grooming himself with total indifference. Finally, old man Reggie, who technically managed the lot but mostly just drank Bud Light behind his shed, wandered over, took a drag off his menthol, and said, "Y'all done yet? Or should I call Sheriff Earl Jr.?" That did it. Dixie stood up, panting, one flip-flop missing, hair now a bird's nest of blue. Tawny scrambled away, her Diet Coke spilled, sunglasses cracked, fake tan streaked with sweat and grass stains. Dixie pointed a trembling finger at Ed. "Get your second cousin ass back in that trailer, Ed. And you." She spun to Tawny, who was crawling to her porch. "Go find another married man, you fake Barbie bitch." She stormed off, flip-flop slapping the gravel like a battle drum. Ed trudged after her, shoulders slumped in defeat. The crowd cheered like they'd just seen the Super Bowl. Kevin Costner sauntered back to Lot 13, tail held high, mission accomplished. That night, Dixie fell asleep on the couch mid-Overwatch match, with a fresh glass of boxed wine perched on her belly. Ed sat next to her, holding an ice pack to his forehead, where she'd accidentally clocked him with her wine can during her Tawny rampage. He glanced down at her blue hair, the kittens climbing all over her. Kevin Costner curled on her feet like a furry war trophy. Ed sighed and whispered, "Roll Tide, I guess." And somewhere down Lot 12, Tawny Googled, "apartments that aren't full of crazy blue-haired Alabama women and their 12 evil cats."